Why play Cho'Gath top? Well, firstly, he's very easy to pick up and do instantly well with. He has ridiculous sustain with his passive, he can still one-shot people as a full tank, and he brings a good amount of CC. However, he does have a weak early game, especially before 6, and he does lack any mobility whatsoever. Cho'Gath's passive is that every time he kills an enemy, which includes minions, he heals a large amount of health and a small amount of mana. This is nuts and gives him incredible sustain. Cho'Gath's Q is a skill shot which places a circle on the ground, and after a small delay it will rupture, knocking enemies up, dealing damage and slowing them. Cho'Gath's W is a roar, which is a cone skill shot which comes out of Cho'Gath. This deals damage and silences all enemies hit. Cho'Gath's E is an auto attack reset which makes his next 3 attacks shoot out spikes. The spikes deal additional damage and slow anyone hit. Cho'Gath's ultimate makes him feed on something. It's a targeted ability, and when used it deals a large amount of true damage to the enemy. Every time this kills something, Cho'Gath gains a stack which gives him increased health and he grows in size. This can be stacked infinitely to get a ton of extra health. However, you can only get 6 stacks off minions and non-epic jungle monsters, so the rest need to be farmed on dragons, epic monsters and champions. For Masteries, this page will make you very tanky. Alternatively, if you want more poke, you can go for something like this. For build order, start Shield and Pot as standard, or Ring and Pot if you want to poke more. Follow this up by getting your Frozen Fist and Tier 2 boots. Other tanky mythics are also good. After this, buy any of these. Make sure to prioritize defenses against the damage that you're taking. After this, just keep buying tank items, or finish your build by buying any of these as you need. For skill order, start E, then Q, then W, before maxing E, then W, then Q, taking ult whenever you can. For some of the spells, take Flash and Teleport. During the lane phase, you're not this strong, unkillable monster just yet, so look to proc your grasp as much as possible and keep farming. Remember, the more farm you get, not only the more gold you get, but also the more you proc your passive and stay healthy. Focus on farming. If you're farming well, there's very few champions in the game that can stop you, as you just out-heal anything they're able to do to you. Keep playing passive, but do poke with your E and Q as often as possible. When you get your ultimate, you have 2 options. You can either save it to try and get a kill, or you can use it on a minion straight away to get that number 1 stack. Unless there's a very good chance you can get the kill, I'd recommend just getting the stack into you. Entering the mid game, you're now starting to deal pretty good damage and you're pretty hard to kill. Your abilities allow you to push hard, so make sure to keep your lane pushed and then roam for objectives. The fact your ultimate does a large amount of true damage to monsters means that you can easily secure heralds, dragons and barons while getting these all-important additional stacks. And of course, these stacks do not count towards the 6 limit on smaller monsters and minions, so you can stack them infinitely. In addition, at this point in the game, keep your vision up and look out for picks. Landing a Q into multiple slows with your E is often enough to get them well within your eating range, or it simply slows them down enough for your team to collapse on them. As always, getting objectives is easier after getting a pick because it's 4v5, so always look to capitalize and snowball. Entering the late game, you want to team fight. With your ultimate well stacked, you should be pretty huge and unkillable by now. Stay at the front and be this huge disruptive beast. Use your AoE knockup, silence and slows to protect your team. While peeling and dealing damage, keep looking for the juicy target that you can execute with your ult for even more stacks.